How's it going, everyone? It is Dragon. We're back with another chapter of Deadrock, Chapter 13, Class F versus Bren. And the cover page for this chapter has Yako just chilling on a bridge, eating a burger, and he looks actually pretty cool. And I like actually that he has his arm kind of taped up like Natsu did in like the final season. I really like this cover with Yako on it. I think he's looking pretty cool. So we're picking up our chapter with Yako obviously turning into the white and black dragon, and everyone's freaking out, mostly Bren. I like the main concern that everyone has for Yako in this moment is he going berserk, which he'd done before, and he says he didn't, and he's in full control. Kind of an additional note that it's kind of cool to see his classmates actually care about him, and they seem to be getting more of a bond together. Which Yako wastes zero time on just punching Bren in the face. Like, he really sends him flying back, and he just follows it up with a breath attack. Which, my goodness, that breath attack causes so much damage. He just destroys this whole forest practically. That doesn't fully put Bren under because he still gets back up and punches him and says, "Don't underestimate the power of education." He just keeps yelling about education. I love that he thinks that that's gonna somehow win this battle. So while those two are brawling, everyone else decides to not sit on the sidelines, and Makoto starts to buff Ryzen, and I like how she tells him to go fight hard and does a little wink. Cool that she's able to buff him. I think that gives her an additional power that really makes her stand out if she's more support and can buff her teammates. But I imagine it's probably only to him since he's already dead. And I like that Zalisha and Frey kind of team up to do like a Natsu happy situation with her carrying Frey to go help in the fight. So both of them do attacks, with Ryzen doing Solomon's Blade and Frey doing a flame attack, which both actually do some damage to Bren and actually sends him stumbling back, which gives Yako an opening to tackle him. And I like that all three are kind of doing their attacks at the same time, and while they're doing their attacks, Yako just straight up disappears and he turns back into his human form. Cool that he fully sealed away the dragon already, and he finds it easier to move as a human, which I imagine it probably is a lot easier to move as a human than a giant dragon, which he gets launched into the air. I love that before he's going to attack Bren, he says, "This is for Hein." At least he hasn't forgotten about it, and he's trying to hold Bren accountable for what he did. With Yako hitting Bren with a black dragon's punch, which, dang, that really blew off all of his head practically, and there is actually blood and stuff. So Mashima is having Yako be quite the different protagonist, and my goodness, he has such joy in his face after blowing his face off. And with the defeat of Bren, everyone regroups and they meet up with Magu, or I guess she wants to call Magi. Kind of interesting that she's curious about Yakuto's curse, because he straight up shows her how his arm is cursed. I do like the concern that the rest of his classmates have about seeing his arm be completely cursed. But Yako straight up does not care about any of that in this moment, because he's like, more importantly, I need you to remove the seal on this book. Which she doesn't even give an answer yet, but she just straight up identifies what the curse is on Yakuto's arm, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce what the heck that curse is, but she gives Yako a date of it should be about a year, which most likely is a year till his death, which is no problem at all for Yako, with him literally saying it's no problem at all. As long as he can kill God, it will be worth sacrificing his life, which he is definitely set on this, because he's got almost like an evil smirk about it in this moment. Which in that same moment we cut over to God himself, with him learning that Bren has been killed by some students in the final page of this chapter, with him getting quite demented, saying, "Why don't we have a field day massacre this year?" And with that, it is the end of our chapter. So my thoughts. I really liked how everyone teamed up together to defeat Bren. I actually like Yakuto's new dragon powers. It's still basically the same as his as Acnologia, but obviously he put Bren in his place real quick. Kind of cool that he's able to control the dragon now compared to he wasn't before. And Yako really is just such a different protagonist than what Mashima was made before, because he's just straight up has zero problems in killing, and he did it in honestly a pretty brutal way, and he seemed to honestly get joy from it, from how he was smiling about it. And honestly, I do love the additional help from his classmates in the battle, and I like actually that they're starting to have concerns for one another and actually seem to be getting along. In a big way to help them, they defeated one of probably the most powerful people in the Deadrock school, aka the vice principal. He was second to God, which is probably going to really piss him off that his second command is dead. But I think it actually shows that they potentially have the power to kill God, and probably next chapter we're going to learn what his weakness is, because the seal in the book will get lifted. Overall, I really like how this chapter went. I liked the fight that happened. I liked the teamwork. I liked the bonds that are kind of forming between everyone. So we'll see where it goes. Leave your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and this is Drago signing out.